First match, Alistair Black versus Johnny Gargano. I know it's Gargano, but I'm saying Gargano. This was a very fascinating program they had on NXT of who attacked Alistair Black from behind. It carried on for nearly a month and a half, 2 months, so that Alistair Black could actually recover from injuries. But they still wanted to make it important that he came back. So who the hell attacked him? Well, they had Nikki Cross coming out and saying that she knew his secret and started implicating people like Velveteen Dream and Tommaso Ciampa and Lars Sullivan and all kinds of people. But it wasn't any of them. It was this skinny fuck, Johnny Gargano. So now we're going to have this grudge match of Alistair Black versus Johnny Gargano. So, how do we book this? Basically, this is Alistair Black's revenge match for being gone for so long. I would be shocked if Gargano goes clean. Shocked. I'll be shocked if Gargano wins clean. If Gargano is going to win, it's going to be dirty. If anything is happening, it's going to be a DQ finish with Black getting the win. Black is not winning clean. No one is winning clean in this. No one. I'm taking Alistair Black for the win, and I'm locking it. I'm locking it just for the sole purpose of I imagine Gargano doing something cheap and getting DQ'd. That's what I'm seeing. To set up a crazy match later, you're absolutely right, Andrew. That's why. You can't just have these one matches, especially with two guys like this. You know you're going to have it carry on. Gargano Ciampa went 6 matches. No, it went 22. That program went way, way long. And the reason it only went long is because Alistair Black was hurt. So there you go. NXT Women's Title Best 2 out of 3 Falls match. Shayna Baszler. Dear Lord, she looks like Corky. Going up against Kairi Sane, who smiles way too goddamn much. Just truly Japanese by every stretch of the imagination. 2 out of 3 falls. Baszler versus Sane. I'm taking Baszler on this one. I'm not going to lock it, though. I'm not that confident in it. I see it being one of those, 2 out of 3 falls matches where, Baszler uses a chair to blast Sane. Sane gets the match by DQ, and then Baszler gets a quick pin. So there it's 1v1, and then Babyface tried to make the comeback. Nope, Baszler wins. So there you go. Nope. I'm taking Baszler in that one for the best 2 out of 3. She retains. Tommaso Ciampa or Tomato Ciampa. Tomato Chomper. Yeah, Tomato Chomper. Going up against Velveteen Dream. By God, I love. Earlier today, I did some binging on the WWE Network, and one of the shows that I watched was last year's NXT TakeOver show. That was the WarGames show, and it featured Velveteen Dream versus Alistair Black, and I totally had to remind myself of how great a match that was. God, so great, Velveteen Dream in this. Is he going to win the title? Absolutely not. Tommaso Ciampa will remain champion. This is going to be just a one-off match because this is what we've gotten from Velveteen Dream throughout his tenure at NXT. He does not do long-term programs. He only does one-offs. Okay? Only one-offs, and that's what he's going to do here. Everyone and their grandmother kept saying that Velveteen Dream needs to be called up to the main roster. He needs to be called up. I don't know. Not for another 2 years. Am I calling him up next year after WrestleMania? Because we all know that after WrestleMania is the big call-up shows. Would I do that? No. I would do it another year. I want him to percolate. I want him to simmer. I want the feeling of him making it to the main roster to really, really pop. Okay? The pitch is not feverish yet. Pitch isn't feverish yet. I need him to get more fevered. But no, Tomato Ciampa is getting this match. Tomato Ciampa. Yeah, Ciampa bed. Tomato Ciampa. Finally, the War Games match that is not exactly War Games by any stretch is Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and the War Raiders versus Undisputed Era. So another thing that I binged on the WWE Network was I watched the first 6 or 7 War Games matches ever held from the NWA and WCW. And holy shit, is this match not like War Games at all. Okay. First off, War Games, the cages had a roof on them. And it was a very short roof. Holy shit, the thing was not even 7 feet high. Very, very short cages. Very, very short. We know they can make them taller, the WWE. But the stipulations and how the War Games match goes is completely different from what this shit is. Okay? How the traditional War Games match goes is you have 2 teams, or sometimes even 3 teams. And the match starts with 1 member of each team in the ring for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes are up, referee flips a coin. Whoever wins the flip gets 1 man to enter the ring for the next 2 minutes. After 2, the other team gets a man. Then another man, then another. There you go. The only way the match ends is when all the people are in the structure. And also, the only way that it ends is by submission or surrender. Not by pinfall. Not by pinfall. By submission. Submission or surrender. Not by knockout. Submission or surrender. That was the big thing. Why was it like that? It was because the biggest reason was Dusty Rhodes created this monstrosity of a stipulation match for the sole purpose of him concluding his feud with the Four Horsemen. I think it was back in 87. It's like 86 or 87. Back in over here in the Mid-Atlantic NWA Crockett era. So War Games right now is completely different from what it was. Should it be what it was? I think so. I think it should be. Because for one, number one, the structure should have roofs on it, but you can't do that because you have Hell in a Cell. You've got Hell in a Cell, and that is supposed to be the end-all, be-all containment unit. Okay, that is resolution. All right, you've got Elimination Chamber. That is a unique structure in itself. You can't have War Games with 2 Hell in a Cells. You can't. It needs to be regular steel cages. Okay, so instead of, so you have that, but the stipulations of the War Games match need to be the same as they were back then historically. Why do they need to be like that? To establish dominance and also knock people down a rung. Seriously, look at this. Look at these 8 that are in this match, for example. Which one would you see tapping out? Who would tap out or who would have a towel thrown in because they could no longer compete? I seriously see it being someone from Undisputed Era. They're bringing War Games to a new generation. It's been long enough that you can change it. Well, the thing is, the new generation doesn't even know what the hell WarGames is. So they can do whatever the hell they want. It makes no sense, though, that you have this match and the stipulations that they are, and I'm not sure if anyone really wins. Okay, here we go. Here's the rules. 2 teams will be contained in separate shark cages at the entranceway. A member from each team is chosen to start the match. 5 minutes. When that team time expires, a member from the team that wins the advantage will enter the match. And that's flip of the coin. 3 minutes is put on the clock. When that time expires, the next team from the other team enters. 1 member of each team will continue to enter the match in this pattern every 3 minutes until all 8. The WarGames is officially sanctioned to be won when all the people are in the match. If anyone leaves the cage during the match, that teams automatically lose. No, that was a stipulation when it first entered in 87-88. When it was 87 and 88, they had open roof cages. And if they tried escaping, their team forfeited. So yeah, that was true. When someone is pinned or made to submit, my thing is that you got to pin somebody. But that means a ref has got to be in there at all times. Or at least 2 refs need to be in there. That's a lot of bodies. You know, that's a lot of shit going on. That's just me. But you know what? That's what we got. Pinfall or submission. One of these 2 teams is winning it. Why? I don't know. I don't like the shark cages, to tell you the truth. I would like it better if the 2 cages, if the whole structure had separate doors like they did in the original WarGames. So you had one team at one corner, one team at the other corner. And you would have the occasional cameras going to them trying to figure out what the fuck they're going to do. Yeah, I don't like the whole shark cage idea. I don't get that. If they want to beat the hell out of each other outside of the ring, go ahead and do it. That makes it even better. I'm going to take Undisputed Era in this match, and I'm going to lock it. Because I'm thinking they're wanting to make this match, the WarGames match, the Undisputed Era's match. Okay? I just see it. And I see Ricochet being pinned. Him being pinned or submitted. One of the 2. Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen because something has to happen. Because that's how things happen. I need to get more sources. Yeah, that made a lot of sense, didn't it?